The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by Doak Propane and the Bank of Billings. Well, once again, we welcome in one of our career 1,000-point scorers, and in this case, it's a 2,000-point scorer, and one of the top two or three young ladies I really enjoyed watching live playing high school girls basketball at West Plains Lady Zizzer. Andi Haney Bean. Andi, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Andi, take us back a little bit. You graduated in 2013. Take us back to that, that you started every game in high school. Take us back to your memories. What do you remember about going back from your freshman year through your senior year? What are things that stand out to you?
Well, I always say that I had it easy because my sister was 2 years older than me. So even as a freshman, she had friends there that helped me feel welcome and get started and kind of tell me how it's done at West Plains. So it was kind of an easy transition from middle school to there. I'm trying to even think of freshman year. It's been so long ago, but I know we had a great group from 2013 to 2017 when I was there. And of course, Coach Womack. He was my coach all 4 years, and I enjoyed him and the effort that he put into us and just all the time he spent. And he always had us in, one thing I'm thankful for is he always had us in good tournaments, whether that's the pink and white, or I know in the summer we used to go up to Bolivar to that shootout, but he always had us in those Springfield school areas, which they were in our conference, but we were always competing against good people every night. And so I appreciated him putting us in those situations. Oh goodness, it's been so long. I remember probably my junior and senior year the best. One game I remember is that game against Republic at Rogersville. My college coach actually came to watch, and I think it was Republic, or it may have been a different game in that same district, but they held the ball just for the whole game. They wanted to slow it down, and we were in that matchup zone. And so I just remember, like, what in the world are we doing? So that was one game that's kind of funny that sticks out to me, just because we just kind of sat back in our zone and they kind of pulled the ball out.
Now, there was a double overtime game, and that may have been against Republic, where you guys were the 2 seed in that district and they were the 1 seed. That was double overtime. Can you take us back to that? Do you remember much about that contest?
A little bit. Some of the girls on Republic, I remember playing with them in the summer. So it was, of course, a flip playing against them, and they were great players. I think of Alice Heinzler, Alex, I can't think of her last name right now. But they were good players. So it was a hard fought battle. I think I have a picture of one of them up in my grill at half court still to this day. But the main thing I remember, which was the end of that game, was Hannah Riggs, which was one of my teammates. She made a little free throw jump shot, which was awesome because we won the game, but that wasn't really her game. So I think it even surprised her when she made it. So that was just a fun, competitive, what Missouri basketball is all about.
Now, in your entire high school career, as I understand it, you never missed a game.
I don't think so. One game that stands out as far as that goes is conference championship. I believe it was against Parkview at home at West Plains. It was our pink out night. And I could only make it through half of the day of school because I was so sick throwing up. But I think we still made it. We still won. That might have even been the night that they gave me one of my balls for making points, but it wasn't a question. I wanted to be there when we were playing.
And again, we're visiting with Andi Haney Bean now, West Plains Lady Zizzer, the all-time career leading scorer in Lady Zizzer history, also the all-time leader in career steals, third in career assists, and seventh in career rebounds. Andi, if you could go back in the time machine and go back and play maybe one or two of those games over again, maybe it's a game that got away from you that you felt like you should have won. Maybe it's that record-setting game where you passed Corinza Barr for the all-time. What are games that stand out that, man, I'd sure like to play that again?
I think one of them that got away from us for sure would be, I believe we played Waynesville my junior year of districts at West Plains. We played at the Civic Center, and I think we were favorite to win, maybe even win the whole districts, and we lost that first round game. And so that's definitely one that I wish we could have back, because I don't even remember the game now, but I just remember, it was not what we expected. So it sure was a shock when that happened. So that's definitely one I would want to go back to. I enjoyed playing with my sister. So probably one of my freshman or sophomore years to go back and get to play with her again. She was more of a shooter and I was more the point guard driver. So it was just fun when I could get her an open shot or something like that. So that was always fun. And then again, the pink and white, that was always a really, really fun tournament to play in. Just playing at all the different Missouri states. I know they've kind of switched it up a little bit, but just a really quality tournament. And I know there's probably a few games in there that we wish we could have back that we probably thought we should have won.
Yeah, and that's probably where I saw you play 4 or 5 games. Was there in that tournament? I would help seed that tournament,
Mhm.
and kind of help work that tournament as well. And there was a year. Now this has been more recent, where West Plains ends up the 5 seed, and I've got to call and let Coach Womack know. But I thought I told him, I said, "You guys are a 1 or 2 seed. You may win the whole tournament." They didn't win the tournament that year, but they won the state championship that year. I believe Ashton Judd's sophomore, junior year there. Tell us about maybe some of the players that you played with that you still maybe have contact with, and then maybe who were some of the biggest rivals as far as not teams but players that you really enjoyed matching up with.
Yeah. So some that stand out. Again, I've talked about my sister a lot. She had some friends. I know Paige Riley. She's married now, but she still lives in the area. I always enjoyed playing with her. Then Hannah Riggs, as I mentioned before, she was always such a hard worker, such a fun person to play with. I don't get to talk to her as much as I'd like to, but I keep up with her a little bit on social media, but her a little bit. And then I know Cass Johnson was such a big help my junior and senior year. I think she might have been there my sophomore year. I can't remember now, but I know she's still there in West Plains. So, and she went on to play at C of O, I believe. So I enjoyed playing with her. Hey, I forgot about her till just now, but Haley Menz, I enjoyed playing with her. She was always a tough one that would do anything that it took to win. So I enjoyed that. As far as rivals, oh man, kind of hard to think now. I know Lauren Aldridge, she was at Marshfield. Yeah. So I think of my rivals as being the ones I played with in the summer, because we trained all year or all summer together, and then we ended up having to play each other. And so she just was a really all-around good player. So it was always a tough matchup if we played her. As I mentioned earlier, Parkview, Aubrey Buckley. I also played with her, and she was just, even if she didn't have anybody else on her team, she was going to carry the team on her back. So that was always a tough matchup. Thinking of the pink and white, I don't even remember the specifics of the game or who even was there, but I remember a really tough Aurora team and just all around good team. So that was one as well. But if I had to pick a team rival, funny enough, I would probably pick Kickapoo, since my brother ended up going there. That's funny, but they were always just a well-coached team and had their girls ready to go all the time. So I would say if I had to pick one team that we knew we had to come ready, it would probably be Kickapoo.
As I've talked to coaches around the area, and including Coach Womack, it was about the tenacity. And I asked Coach Womack, because I would see you dive into walls or into benches, out of bounds. And in Coach Womack's case, he said she did it in practice. I don't know how she never got hurt, but it made our team better because, she was our best player. And if your best player is going to work in practice like that, you're going to be better. Where does that come from? Is that from growing up with an older sister that you really had to fight with? And I mean in a good way, but that competitiveness, where does that come from?
Well, it definitely comes from my dad. He always taught us, I mean, competitiveness is sometimes something you could teach, sometimes not, but he definitely had that in him. But he also just cultivated that competitiveness in me and my sister. And yeah, we had our moments and our fighting, so that probably helped. But for sure from my dad and just the effort and time him and my mom put into us, whether that's travel ball or I think I started when I was in kindergarten playing on a second grade team that my dad decided to coach for us. So I was always the smallest one, but he told me, I could get out there and still make a difference, diving on loose balls, getting those rebounds, things like that. So I think that's really the main place that it came from.
Coach Womack brought up something and was in a game where you had a 1-point lead, and I believe he said it was against Kickapoo. You got into the lane, hit the basket that would have put you up 3 and got an and 1, except they called a charge. And he said, ask her about that and if she remembers that. And he said, I've looked at it on film 1,000 times and there's no way it was a charge.
I don't remember it, but that sounds like me, a bull in the china closet, as some would say. So I'm sure even if it wasn't a charge, it probably looked like one. I'll go ahead and give it to the refs after all these years.
Well, he said it ended up waving the basket off and Kickapoo came down and hit a buzzer beater to beat you. And he said, we would have had a 4-point lead if she doesn't get that charge. But same time machine. If you could go back to that Andi Haney, who's an 8th grader, and give her some advice based on what you know now, what advice would you go back and give yourself when you were in the 8th grade based on what you know now as an adult?
Oh, that's a good question. I think just make every moment count, because when you get old and you're a has-been and you're out of shape and all the things that I am now, just really enjoying every moment, whether that be a tough practice, whether that be a weekend that you're spending, playing basketball, just to cherish those memories and also just to enjoy it with your teammates and your coaches and all of those people, because it does go by fast, and just to work hard and put everything you can into it.
And what just for those out there that maybe didn't get to see you play and don't know much about you, and again, we're visiting with Andi Haney Bean, 2013 graduate of West Plains. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. You're still in the area. Obviously, you're married. What is family life like, and what are you doing professionally?
Yeah, so I went to Harding University afterwards and got to play basketball with my sister again. And then after that, I got a business degree. After that, I've had a few different jobs, but currently my husband and I live in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, and he's a basketball coach and I am just teaching at the school. And we have a little 1.5-year-old son, so he keeps us busy and on our toes. But when we're not doing that, my little brother Isaac is still pursuing his dream. So we've watched him play at Austin P, and then he's going to go play overseas in Spain. So a lot of our time is still spent with basketball.
Very good. Well, it was an honor to get to visit with you and catch up with you. I know it's been a long time since we were sitting in that little corner at the Bolivar gym during the Bolivar shootout and interviewing you and some of your teammates there. But always enjoyed watching you. As I mentioned, maybe top 3 high school girls basketball players that I've enjoyed watching in person. And I really appreciate this time and catching up. And thank you for being generous with your time.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
And I have one more question, and I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And we started the Be Safe, Be Smart, Be Here Tomorrow campaign 18 years ago. My question is, do you always wear your seatbelt?
I try to always wear my seatbelt.
Very good. Very good. Well, Andi, again, congratulations on being part of the Missouri Milestones career 1,000 point scorers. There's no membership fees to be part of this club. There's no secret handshakes. Have had to have scored 1,000 career points, and you scored 2077. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, and we'll be back after these messages here on the Missouri Sports Network. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really